It's extremely difficult. Both communities in Northern Ireland have to agree to the long-term solution, but the problem is Brexit means the status quo will change. So there has to be some form of mechanism to involve the communities, but that's highly disputed. So it will continue to be one of the major issues in getting a deal.
From your experience, it sounds like there is political will on both sides of these talks to find an agreement at this stage. How important is the economic calculation from the European side at this point to avoid no deal?
I mean, the European Union clearly sees that a no deal would be disastrous, first and foremost for the UK, but also for the EU, particularly for certain countries. So that's a strong driver to get a deal done. But that will not mean that the EU will give up its principles. Those are more important than the economics.
And let's talk about those principles, because clearly the integrity of the single market is a phrase that we've heard for years during these negotiations. How does that get threatened by an agreement on Northern Ireland that the European Union is not happy with? Can you explain that to viewers?
Well, the problem is really in how far is the UK and in how far is Northern Ireland part of the single market, and how far do these parts follow the rules of the single market. If they have access, if they're inside the single market, then there also has to be a mechanism that they adhere to the rules, so not to give a competitive advantage to any companies outside the single market.
So let's talk about that competitive advantage, because one of the elements that seems to have shifted from the British position is on the concept of a level playing field when it comes to the kinds of standards that British manufacturers, for instance, will have to adhere to in order to have this deal work in the future if you end up with a free trade agreement. How does that fit in economically to the future of the UK?
For the EU, level playing field conditions are extremely important. There is a need from the perspective of pretty much all governments in the European Union to prevent a situation where the UK would use lower standards to compete in environmental issues, in labor issues, in taxation. So they will insist on having these level playing field conditions in any deal. That will open up the possibility of having a trade deal between the European Union and the United Kingdom, which is the most important trade deal the UK has to strike.
You've lived in this town for a dozen years at least. You've followed talk after talk after talk when it comes to negotiations involving the European Union. Is it true, do you think, that the time pressure ahead of these kinds of summits we're seeing today has served as a useful tool to bring two sides together?
Yeah, time pressure always is important to get to an agreement. Clearly, you need the people also in town, so the summit now is the crucial point. And the European Union is rather good at striking these kind of deals in getting the technicalities in place. But I think the key here has been the time pressure on the United Kingdom. Given that no deal looms at the end of the month, the United Kingdom has to find a solution rather quickly.
Hi, I'm Joanna Bersecci, and thank you for watching. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more from CNBC International. Thank you for watching.